Welcome to another talk on our Inspiring Conversation series with myself, Bindhu Unny. I am an executive coach, facilitator, and marketeer. The idea behind these inspiring conversations is to give us all a different point of view as we talk to different individuals from various walks of life. And today in our Inspiring Conversations, we have with us Saira Ranj. She is the CEO and founder of Createit, which is a creative skill development center. And she also facilitates bespoke events. She's based in Bahrain. Hi, Saira.
Hi. Hi, Bindhu.
I'm going to describe Saira in a very simple fashion. You give Saira a brush, a mic, a pen, and a book, and she can talk about it. She can draw about it. She can write about it. She can just make it just go alive. And that's just her. So today it's all about how in today's times we can trigger the creative side of us. And it's about read, write, art, and speak, which summarizes Saira. Welcome to Inspiring Conversations.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
First of all, Saira, I want you to tell us something more about Createit. I love the name. So just let us know what Createit is all about. How was it born and what is Createit to?
Okay. Sounds very good. Createit has been a part of my life since forever, but it actually came alive here in Bahrain, September of 2019. Now, I have been a serial entrepreneur in Dubai. As you know, I've just been less than 2 years in Bahrain, and was getting into different entrepreneurial ventures where I was doing the same thing, which is basically creativity and developing things. So now I have a solid platform where we go into the different aspects of creativity. So I do things just like what you mentioned. So it's about public speaking workshops for adults as well as children. It's about reading. We have book clubs. So specifically for children, we would love to have adults too at some point, but at the moment it's for children. Then you have art workshops, which is my personal, baby. I love art in all forms. So we're talking about art workshops, different areas. And finally, we run creative writing workshops as well. So all in one, all about self-expression.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. A question is, I love the angle about self-expression and how it's very important for us as human beings, and particularly as adults, because I think that part of during the growing up, the self-expression kind of just keeps going down for some reason. For some of us, it continues to live a particular life, and for some adults, it's just like shun it to the side and let's deal with it when I have more time, more something in the future. Today,
Right.
we're all facing a very stressful, a very unique kind of phase in our lives. How can
Yeah.
self-expression actually be used today?
Okay. It is so important, far more important today than any other time, I would say. Because you see, there's so much to it. Our lives have been turned inside out, upside down due to different ways. Like some of them are frontline. Some of us are just due to lockdowns, working from home or staying at home in that same confines. Some of us have big apartments. Some of us have very small places. So it's anxiety on so many levels. And what art basically teaches you, creativity basically teaches you to see beauty in things. And beauty is at the end of it, hope. It's hope for a better tomorrow. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. So it's so important for us to take a few minutes out. See, everybody cannot meditate. Some of us can go into that Zen kind of living mode. We can try, but everybody can't. So how can you do those kind of things? You try and do your bit, whatever your individual self works. So one of the things I would definitely say is creative expression in any form. Now that is where we get into, like it could be writing, it could be painting, it could be learning how to improv, different things. So I think it's very important for a person to actually reflect a bit and then think about what medium they'd like to get into.
How does a person even explore that if I haven't done it for years or I've never explored these things? How does one do it, especially
Okay.
today?
See, that's where a guide or a teacher always helps. It can help because, see, at the moment we consume a lot of content. We Everybody's on Zoom at the moment. The whole world has gone onto the digital platform, and we are forever watching, reading, listening to a lot of things. So something in there, if you take out a few minutes and you understand the pattern that you're following. So it could be you're listening to different kinds of empowered talks that gives you, like TED talks, that gives you some kind of empathy, some kind of something to hold on to. So you understand that you like the listening skills. Maybe you prefer that, or it could be music. You enjoy music. So it's about self-reflection, and of course, through a guide or a teacher, they are able to hone you better. So that's why I would encourage people to take that first step, either on their own or to reach out to somebody. Like I couldn't meditate for nuts. I just couldn't. But I realized that I knew people in my circle who do meditate. And I reached out to somebody and I asked her, could you hold a session? And now we are a good 12 people every day meeting at 6 o'clock on a digital platform where we listen to her and we meditate for a good 30 minutes. I never saw that coming.
Wow. Okay. So it's about really going and exploring it.
Yes.
But say today we're all pressed for time and trying to like barely meet the day, like just need to kind of manage and stay above the chaos that's going on. What are the kind
Yeah.
of things that I can look around me in my home, because most of us are staying at home right now, so no access to kind of step out, which in a way is, I think, good because it curtails one's senses to kind of keep stepping out, right? We're so used to going out and satisfying the senses. So right now
Yes.
it's all curtailed, the door is closed, and we don't step out. And then now it's what do we do with what we have here now, even in the physical environment?
True. Very, very true. I mean, aren't we lucky that we have the internet?
Yes.
What would have happened if we did not have the internet and we were in the same situation? At one point, I was thinking, we've all become Anne Franks in our own way. We have no choice but to deal with the entire situation in that space that we have. So I would actually like to think that people should, at least for some time, even if it's 15 minutes, take that time and move out of the internet, move out of the digital platform, and just go into, say, take a book. Okay, it could be your personal journal, something, and you just jot down a few, like 10 minutes. Keep your thoughts, enter your thoughts. What is disturbing you? What is it that you want? You could start big, small. Maybe it's that fight you had with your sister. You want to write about that. It could be anything. Just start putting those thoughts down. And if you do that 10 minutes for about, say, 1 week, very soon you'll realize that this is going somewhere. I'm headed towards something. So before you know, all the self-reflection eventually ends up giving you a very concrete idea as to which medium you want to get into or how you want to take this further. So that's when you essentially reach out to somebody and do things.
Yeah. Okay. That's so true. When you talk about internet, we all are right now facing even digital fatigue, and I'm going to call it that because just before, in the 2 months or 3 months ago, we would talk about, oh no, it's too much screen time, but now
Yes.
we've kind of exceeded all of what we thought was too much.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just gone through the roof. I used to run workshops where I said, parents, your kids are spending too much time on, kids are spending too much tech time. So keep them focused on a book club. You read books, we do exercises together, we do blackout poetry together. So it's all about the written word and how through games children are engaged and they learn how to come up with different ideas. And now suddenly all of my classes have gone online. You can imagine. But creativity does that. It makes you embrace new things. You have to adjust to the situation. So there's nothing you can do about it, but we try to think out of the box, within the box.
That's so and that's a lot of creativity, right? How do you kind of bring that in this space? Just doing workshops and classes in this box is quite a very different experience.
Yeah.
I picked up, just like what you mentioned, I picked up art, and I mentioned that to you, right? I kind of said, okay, as I was listening to a lot of things on the internet or on my phone, I kind of started doodling on small notes here and there. And I was thinking, if all of these doodles can be put together, it should be something interesting, and no formal training or anything. And I just put it all together, and I've kind of developed this interest in mandala art. It's not been the case 4 weeks ago. No, I didn't have the time to take and put it in, and that is an excuse, right? We all say that. So in our in the previous world, it was all overscheduled. Oh, I don't have time for that. Is it worthwhile? Is it going to it's all those kind of thoughts, but now it's very different. Now our perspective is, oh, okay, so what can I do here and now, like literally in the present moment?
Yeah, it's bringing us down to our basics in a lot of way, and it's actually a good thing. To a large majority of us, it's a very, very good thing, because it's making you really find out what really matters, what ultimately matters. And I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of people, adults, are so switched on to their careers, who are so focused in their careers and driven. Okay, the minute that job is no longer there, what is your plan B? Okay, what is your plan B? A lot of people who are in specialized industries they're working towards a retirement plan. Yes, they're working towards amassing wealth so that, even if you lose your job, say for 1 year, you're still able to sustain yourself, which is great if you're able to do that. But that's not the thing. What you do with your mind, with your body, that can enrich yourself and enrich the community as a whole. How do you tackle that? So it is important for every person, adult, young, old, to be able to have a vocation in their mind where they are able to channelize, like say an engineer, how you mentioned the engineer is now doing art and he's actually having an exhibition of those paintings. I mean, he never thought there's an artist within him. But nothing like that, whatever is your skill. Maybe you're good at speaking to people, so you can use that portfolio. If you're good at just working alone by yourself and then exhibiting. So whatever it is, but it is so essential that you are prepared to work even when you don't have a job.
That's correct. So in your daily, in a normal day for you, a normal in today's context, yes, what do you do to keep these parts of you alive, challenged, do differently? So in the dimension of reading, writing, art, and speaking. And I'm going to challenge you to make it simple for us. So give us what you do that can be simple for us. Is that too much of a challenge? All of the wins.
Not at all, not at all. See, I think one of the simplest things I've already talked about it slightly, but one of the simplest things that one can do is actually jot down things, okay? Whether it is your own little, children like to buy a beautiful little scrapbook, a journal book, where you can actually put it down in a pretty book, which makes them feel, okay, I own this little thing and it's my baby and I'm going to start using it. Obviously, not everybody goes into it big time, because what happens is after some time, after the, say, 20 pages, then they may leave it. But the fact is, You sit down every day and just reflect. Get those thoughts down and put it down, and before you know, you'll end up doodling, you'll end up making little mind maps. It gives you a focus, it gives you some kind of, something to hold on to, and before you know, your memory is boosted, you're inspiring yourself with creativity, and all of this helps in relieving your stress in a big way.
True.
Is that focused enough?
Yes, yes, and simple. And the whole Inspiring Conversation series came from that kind of like an incident or a couple of incidents where I kind of kept writing down thoughts that I was talking to. I would have conversations with friends, and things would come up, and I would just jot it down and then think and continue that in my journal. And I have journaling as a habit for myself. And
Great.
that's when I felt that this can give more value to more people out there. And that's how Inspiring Conversations even started. It was just born out of me getting inspired, having conversations with so many people just like you. And yes, ideas can be born just by doing that one simple task.
Absolutely, Bindu. It's like, see, it's just self-expression. You observe, and through art, you end up, there's so much of empathy that develops, because we all are different. Every single person is different, and the beauty of art is there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. So what you write is your expression, is your ways, is your words, it's your creativity, your colors. And, as you go through it, then you realize, oh, okay, this is part of me. And just like a butterfly is unable to see its wings, but we look at it and we say, wow. When people give us compliments, you don't see it for a long time. But when you keep doing that and you keep receiving these things, then you believe. And then yes, I am that person. So you become, comfortable in your own skin.
Yes, a very important thing, right? Just be comfortable in your own skin.
Oh yeah, it takes us sometimes years to learn this. Yeah.
Sounds simple, but it's a journey.
You said it.
So, Saira, before we wind this conversation off, how can people find you if they're more curious about finding what you do and how you can help them?
Okay, I'm available on the Insta handle Saira. That's SAIRA .Ranj, RANJ. So what I technically do is do different kinds of, in art, we do portrait workshops, we do sip and paint, we do mixed media. So all related to art. And then of course there's public speaking and writing. So whatever is your forte, whatever you want to get into.
Got it. All right. Thank you so much again, Saira. Really, really appreciate the time.
I love this platform. Thank you so much for having me, Bindhu. And you've been a fabulous person anyway.
Oh, thank you. The action from that conversation is a challenge for all of you to take 5 minutes out of the day and write. It could look like a journal, it could look like a book, it could be you just jotting things down on a piece of paper. For me, it looks like on my phone, it could be on your laptop. But the important thing is taking that 5 minutes out of your day to just reflect, write what's just going on in your mind. And there is a lot of value in it when we look at it backwards. So in a couple of weeks' time, months' time, to record what we all went through at this point. So that's the challenge. Until next time, stay safe, stay inspired.